Hello, I am Lindsay Sanford, and I am doing an informative speech about the author of the popular book series Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling. She was born Joanne Rowling in the UK to a father who was an aircraft engineer and a mother who worked as a science technician in the chemistry department at a school to which she attended. Her mother did suffer from multiple scoliosis, and due to that, her and her father did have a strained relationship. But she always knew that she wanted to be an author, and just grew up loving books, surrounded by books. She wrote her first book when she was 6 years old about a rabbit, and she titled it Rabbit, which I think is pretty cute. And also, she wrote her first novel at the young age of 11 about 7 cursed diamonds and the people who owned them. She left home at 18 years old to attend university, where she studied modern language, really just to please her parents, because she actually can be quoted saying that she would have rather studied English. Fast forwarding to 1990, she conceived the idea of Harry Potter on a delayed train ride, where she just said that she imagined these characters and she just knew it was something that she wanted to continue to write. Moving forward, she does experience a lot of trials and tribulations. 6 months after she starts writing her Harry Potter novels, her mother dies on New Year's Day after she loses the battle to multiple scoliosis. She does end up moving to northern Portugal to just restart her life, where she begins to teach English as a second language, and she meets her guy friend that she starts dating named George. Her and George soon become pregnant, and she moves in with George and his mother in a small 2-bedroom apartment, where she soon after suffers a miscarriage. She ends up marrying George in October of 1992, and they go on to have a daughter by the name of Jessica in July of 1993. 13 months after marriage, her and George divorce, and Rowling moves back to the UK. Unable to find work, she relies heavily on government assistance programs such as welfare, food stamps, housing, and begins to suffer Great Depression. She even goes on to consider suicide. But she doesn't let this stop her. She continues to write in cafes while her daughter sleeps, and uses her depression actually as a inspiration for some of her characters in her whimsical books. She was rejected by 12 publishing companies, but she never gave up. Soon, a small London-based company agrees to give her a chance, under one condition, that she uses a different pen name, because Joanne, they felt, was too womanly and it wouldn't really sit well with buyers of a young audience. So she then chooses to go by J.K. Rowling. J for Joanne, K for Kathleen, which is her grandmother's name, considering that Rowling doesn't have a middle name. Hence the name J.K. Rowling, which I'm sure a lot of you may know that name. The book is a success. She actually, it's been noted that the first edition Bloomsbury prints are worth $6,500 a piece. Rowling then receives a Scottish grant from the Scottish Arts Council, where this allows her to be able to write full-time. Scholastic ends up bidding a whopping $100,000, which is quite a bit considering the time and also considering the fact that it was a children's book. So it was unprecedented for the publishing rights to publish here in the United States. Warner Brothers agrees to buy the first 4 books to make films for a whopping $2 million after the widespread success of the books here. The other films, we don't know how much the contracts were, but it is estimated that for each film after the 4th film, she received well into the 7-figure range for each film. Harry Potter films combined do a whopping $6.5 billion in the box office. Her successes are just on and on because as an author, she has the #1 best-selling book series of all time, period, of all time. All 7 books that are in her series of Harry Potter are actually on the top 25 best-selling books of all time. All 7 are on that list. You can find this list at jamesclear.com, where you will see that her books are just scattered over, and she is one of the best-selling authors of our time with 450 million copies sold. The Harry Potter brand is even more expansive with not just movies and books, but resorts, action figures, toys, games, and so forth. And the brand is worth an estimated $25 billion. On June 5th in 2008, J.K. Rowling gave a Harvard commencement speech where she talks about the benefits of failure. She can be quoted, "You will never know yourself or the strength of your relationships until both have been tested by adversity." She goes on to make the list of Forbes' self-made billionaire. According to Forbes, she soon drops off of that list due to her, I just want to say, I guess, her generosity of over $160 million and counting in donations to different charities, including single mothers, multiple scoliosis charities, and so forth. Today, J.K. Rowling has received a Lifetime Achievement Book Award. She's received Legion of Honor Award, the Hugo Award for Best Novel, and the list goes on and on. She has since remarried and had a son and a daughter additionally, and is also still an author where she writes. She's written The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Warner Brothers actually bought the rights to that book as well. And she also wrote A Casual Vacancy, which is also an HBO series that she got a contract with. She does, however, continue to write under a different pen name, Robert Galbert, where she writes crime novels and has chosen to go under a different pen name just so that she can just write freely without the expectation of the name that goes with J.K. Rowling. I hope that you took from my informative speech and learned a little bit about one of my favorite authors and her inspirational story. Thank you.